Hello, I'm John Gotis, and last time we talked about the biological self, and in this video I'll be discussing the social self. Now, human development is largely influenced by membership in crucial social groups that shape various aspects of the self, belief systems, values, orientation, and behavior. And at the beginning of life, one already belongs to a social group, their family. It is the most pervading, influential social group that impacts the self in its entire course of development. The views one holds about the world, the values upheld in making choices and decisions, and the habits and persistent behavior one carries have been formed in the context of one's family and home environment. Next to family are schools and academic environments, which enhance our views and knowledge of the world, which affects how the social self is formed. Aside from those, the community around oneself can also affect the social self. From this, it's apparent that the changes the social self goes through is dependent on many external factors, but the biggest one is probably the culture that one belongs to. According to Edward Tyler, culture is the complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, law, art, morals, customs, and other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. However, culture itself is highly relative as it varies in terms of geographical, traditional, and individual context, which is why different countries have different cultures and standards. Aside from how people around us affect our social self, there's also the matter of how our social self is affected by technology, which is almost solely due to social media. Social media is defined as websites and applications that make it easier to create and share information, ideas, and interests, and allows people to create other forms of self-expression via virtual communities and networks. Through the use of social media, people may act differently since interaction in social media does not happen face-to-face and there is no physical presence required. This is called online disembodiment. With this, people are less likely to display their real selves to others, especially to strangers. So, in an online environment, one's role identity is vitally important in order for them to project themselves in the said environment. Amidst the technological tools and channels surrounding individuals and online activities that people engage in, one's online identity enables them to participate in a virtual society. However, participation in virtual environments may entail changes that may affect a person's sense of self, like how some people present themselves differently in online interactions as compared to face-to-face interactions that they engage in. When people adopt fake identities, they are likely to engage in behaviors that they would not do in real life. This is what's known as online disinhibition. So there are two main categories of behaviors that fall under online disinhibition. Blind disinhibition, which occurs when people tend to self-disclose more on the internet than they would in real life, or go out of their way to help someone or show kindness, and toxic disinhibition, in which people take part of this, use rude language, bully or threaten others on online platforms, and go to websites with contents of violence, crime, and pornography. And aside from the social digital self, there's also the material and economic self. People are likely to purchase products that can relate to their personalities. Material possessions signify some aspects of one's sense of self and identity, and possessions tell a lot about their owners. Thus, one's sense of self and identity is influential on how an individual chooses to purchase their wants and how they make economic decisions that will address their personal and social needs. The decisions that go into the purchase of items and certain services are dependent on a number of factors, including financial constraints, availability of items and services, etc. However, the most important factor is determining whether these items and services fall under wants or needs, and people also generally consider two things when buying a product: the possession of if the product has a practical use or if the product has any significant meaning attached to it. The possession of material things also indicates one's status in society. These personal choices build one's material and economic self, which is an extension of their social identity. So that's all for the social self. Up next is the mental self.